Good day, and welcome to another episode of the Small Business Insights of the Carolinas. I'm Don Emmett, Managing Director of Entrust Associates, and I'm here today with Jeff Monsine. Jeff is the owner and salesperson, according to your website, of the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. We're here in Jeff's rather impressive facility in Durham, North Carolina. Jeff, thanks for inviting us in today.
Well, thanks for having me, and hope this interview is helpful for you and all the people looking at it.
Okay, well great. Well, so tell us a little bit about the Aluminum Company. We hear some of the commercials on.
Well, the Aluminum Company, my father started the company in 1961. He retired in 1984, and that's when I took over the company. We've been in business, coming up almost 60 years now, and basically we're an exterior home improvement company, and specializing in siding, windows, roofing, and doors. And then those products, in siding, you have vinyl siding, hardy plank siding. You have roofing, metal roofing, shingle roofing. You've got entry doors. You got all kinds of windows, bay windows, double hung windows, slider windows. So that's our core products. We're focused on I have 5 salesmen that focus on the sales, obviously, and we actually go into the home and give estimates. People call us, and we get out there and try to solve their problems.
In terms of your footprint,
we work within about a 100-mile radius.
Okay.
Of the triangle. So we go up to easily Lake Aston, Southern Virginia, South Boston, Danville, Virginia, far south, at least Fayetteville and surrounding areas, Lillington, Pinehurst, all the way to Greensboro, all the way down to the eastern part of the state. People have second homes down at the coast. So cover a pretty large area. But obviously our core area would be the Research Triangle.
So over 60 years in second generation, that's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, it's a great business. It's fun. You have to keep your eye on the ball when you're in the home improvement business. Contractors don't have the best reputation. Our business model is if somebody contracts work with us, we don't require a deposit or down payment. We do the work, come do a walkthrough, make sure there's no punch list items, and when that job's 100% done, customer's happy, they write us a check, pay with a credit card. We offer also a variety of financing options as well. But bottom line is no money exchanges hands until the work is completed.
That's significant, I would say.
Yeah, it separates us from the competition quite a bit.
And you hear a lot, I guess, hearing on the radio, I guess, anytime there's a disaster or a storm, somewhat brings the less savory types.
Right. Storm chasers, we call them.
And they're trying to tell on the news, people, don't be giving people money up front, and make sure you're dealing with a reputable person.
Exactly.
So in terms of growing the business, are you happy with that footprint? Is there a plan? You do have North Carolina in the name, so that would.
Well,
Charlotte or.
Well, I don't have any plans to expand to Charlotte. Right now it's a little far away. But with this one office, we're in a 10,000 foot facility. About 50% of it is showroom, half of it's warehouse. And with the sales guys, you have to physically go out to people's houses. So, we cover a large area. We grow, approximately 10 to 12% a year organically. And a lot of it's due to the concentration of people. When I was very young, my father used to drag me and my brother around on sales calls, and he would advertise in all the small newspapers around the area, Roxborough, Henderson. They would do inserts all the way down to Kill Devil Hills and Cape Hatteras, and we used to, go on sales calls all over these little towns. This Sims, which now, of course, nobody goes through Sims anymore because of the 264 bypass. But now, this area, the triangle's grown so intensely, and there's such a dense population. Even though we still go to these outlying areas, there is so much business in this area. So many houses have been built, in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and all these houses need, they need roofing, they need siding. Mother Nature is our best companion, basically. Because as we all know that own houses or anything, Mother Nature takes its toll.
It's the nature of
the
the endeavor.
People have, rotted wood, roof leaks, rotting windows, and they need that problem solved. And we certainly have plenty of competition out there, but we couldn't do every job if we wanted to. So we get our share. We typically will fall somewhere in the middle of the price range. People getting 3, 4, 5 estimates. The first thing we tell them, we're not going to be your cheapest. We're not going to be the highest. We're going to fall somewhere in the middle. But if people will look and do their homework, look at online reviews, Google, Facebook, Guild Quality, we have, knock on wood, we have great reviews, and that's because we work hard and we stay focused. And I think it really shows in the reviews online. The social media aspect of so many businesses today is very important. And just we're fortunate to have a very, very good reputation out there. So if somebody's looking for the cheapest estimate, we're not the right company. We're not that company for them.
So in today's changing world, what would you say is in terms of customer acquisition, your best strategy or your best outlet, lead generator or whatever?
Well, we have a lot of equity in the market. We've over the years we've done TV off and on, but our consistent message has been through radio. We advertise on WPTF, is maybe what we call our flagship station. We go to 106.1, which used to be called Rush Radio.
Okay.
We're on WUNC, the public radio, so we're hitting all types of demographics. And we get a lot of referrals. And it may sound a little ridiculous, but when you do a job, one of the best sources of advertising is putting up a job sign. Simple job sign.
And your truck?
And our trucks are wrapped, as you can see right outside the window here. But referrals are huge, job signs are huge, and doing good work, word of mouth. Our phone rings a lot. In fact, we're always, if anybody's listening to this, and if anybody knows a good, energetic person looking for a sales job, we're always looking. We're always looking for that right person.
Which is a great lead into my next question about employees. And most small businesses, mid-sized businesses, you don't really have you have products, but you need people. Your business is people, and you need people to deliver your service and your product. So how do you attract, retain? What's your
we have a
resource strategy?
Well, that's the hardest part. That's the biggest question. I think any small business owner out there that'd be the first thing everybody would say is getting good people. I have a good, core group of salespeople. I have a good core group of, administrative staff. Sammy Handa's my operations manager. I have a gentleman by the name Matt Smith, been with me a long time, June Crook. So we don't have, I'd probably say 80% of our employees, we don't have been with me 15 to 20 years plus. Good core group. But again, we're always striving, for instance, right now we're looking for a new service manager, and another project manager, another salesman. Not because, we have a tremendous amount of turnover, we're just looking to get the right people in those positions. And, in a small business, you can't hide. If you're not doing your job correctly, I'm going to know about it. My operations manager is going to know about it. So, we're always looking for good people. word of mouth,
Mm-hmm.
the typical recruiting sites we try. But I say to people, I've never hired a person I didn't think was going to do a great job. I mean, every time I make that hire, I'm enthusiastic, I'm happy with them, but 2-3 months down the road, that's when the rubber meets the road. People could look so good on the resume, but you really you don't know until you physically get them in here and see if they're doing their job. And if they're not, then we're going to replace them, because it's all about satisfying that customer, the homeowner. That's my boss. Everybody says, "Oh, you're the boss." It's like Sam Walton said, my boss is a customer, and they can fire me anytime they want to. And I think that's a great line, because that's who I work for, is the homeowner, my customers.
That makes a lot of sense, and it's always a higher authority.
Yeah, higher authority, and that's our customer, exactly.
Okay. So you kind of gave a little lead in onto some good advice. What would you say is the best advice maybe that your dad or a mentor passed down to you about business?
Well, I think stick to what you know. I mean, we over the years have tried doing different things. We've done a little bit of bathroom remodeling, done a little kitchen. We were building room additions and screen porches, and basically we don't do that anymore.
Okay.
I think it's important. You stick with what you know, stay focused, and do it good. And don't worry about your competition. I mean, I don't worry about my competition. I've got plenty of competitors out there, but I focus on what the aluminum company in North Carolina is doing. If I worry about this company and that company and this advertisement and that advertisement, I'm going to be like a ping pong ball all over the place. I focus on what we do, focus on my customers, giving great service, and also don't worry about the money. I've always, don't do things for money. Do the best job you can. Obviously, we're in business to make money, but you can't chase the dollar. Sometimes, you go out to a customer's house and they say, "Oh, I need a new roof," and you tell them, "Yeah, you do need a new roof, but not for 4 or 5 years." And you tell them that. I mean, just because they call you out there doesn't mean you have to sell them something, and that goes a long way. So that, not worrying, doing a good job. If you do a good job and do the right thing, the money will take care of itself. I mean, I really believe that. It's just that, when you're out there, if you're trying to, hit a home run on every job or make the most money, it just doesn't work that way. Customer comes in, or and service is a big deal. You take care of your service and you do the right thing. Most of our products, in the recent times, have a lifetime warranty on them. So, and again, we stand behind our product, service, warranty, and that kind of thing is a huge deal as well.
And to your point, you do the right thing and the money takes care of itself, and you do the wrong thing and it's counterproductive.
Exactly.
I was at a seminar yesterday, and the woman had a good line about salespeople and being overzealous, and because you can smell the commission breath.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And we get a ton of referrals. We've got I talked to a lady today, and basically she has an issue with the roof, and some handyman said, she could wait a year or two. And I called her, and we've done 3 jobs for this lady, and I said, and she's got a problem. She thought it was some problem we caused, and we didn't do a roof. A roof is 22 years old. It's a 20-year-old roof, and we did send a service tech, a project manager out there to look at it, and literally she's got holes as big as her pinky. The roof's worn out. And I said to her, "Look, you need a new roof. You get before you, whether I do it or somebody else does it, and if you could wait a year, I would tell you that, but your handyman doesn't know what he's talking about. You need to make a decision on a roof. You got holes in it, and on that same, you got to be upfront with people. I mean, we'd like to wait a year or two. Well, you can if you want, but it's not the right thing.
yourself and for your house.
Yeah, right. So you have to be honest with people, and you have to, you have to be if you have to be your own advocate. Years ago I used to say the customer is always right. Okay. You know what? I don't know who's listening to this or watching this. You can't. That can't be your adversary. But I'll tell you this: if you take that attitude 100% of the time, you will go out of business. I promise you. Homeowners today, customers, not everyone, and it's a small percentage, but people will take advantage of it. And my attitude has changed that, we'll service and warranty everything, but it's got to be fair for both people. And in a lot of cases, homeowners aren't forthright with you, or customers aren't forthright. And again, it's a small percentage, and you have to stick up, and that's what I'll say to the customer. Look, it's our fault. We're going to fix it. But if it's another issue, we're not going to fix it because it's not our fault. So I think that's really important. It's a balancing act. And if you're upfront with customers, and in fact, something we're doing now, I don't know if this is off subject, but people, because when you work on somebody's houses, I'll give you an example. I have a friend of mine that's an orthopedic surgeon, right? He does hip replacements. Does a hip replacement, the patient calls him and says, I got headaches now, and so, that orthopedic, they kind of get blamed for everything. Well, it's the same when we work on a house. So we'll tell a customer, if there's a little bit of a tug of war with them, what we'll say is, listen, it's going to be $500 or $700. We'll come and investigate, and if it's our fault, we're not going to charge you. But if it's not our fault, you got a hole in the roof or some unrelated problem, it's going to cost you X amount of dollars. And most customers are okay with that. And to me, that's about as fair as you can be. You evaluate it, and then you put it on that customer and say, look, you can't come out there for free. It's a lot of money to do that. So we try to really work with the homeowner and be as fair as we can with them, and be very straightforward. Hey, it's something we caused or something we did, I promise you, we're going to take care of it, no questions asked. So and I think that's attitude has served us well.
And one of the reasons that you've been in business for 54 years.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So, to kind of conclude a bit, you're a second generation. Is there a third generation?
Well,
is there an exit strategy or an acquisition strategy?
Would you like to buy the company?
Perhaps.
Right now, I love what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do have I have 4 children, and my youngest is 22. My son is 22 years old. He's doing some other stuff now. He did graduate University of Alabama with a business degree and a minor in computer science. But right now he's doing some other stuff, which I'm very happy for him to do, because I think it's important for a young person to get out, have some fun. And he's actually working on a luxury yacht down in Fort Lauderdale as a deckhand. And he's working. I mean, it's not easy work. And, his mom wasn't too crazy about it. But, I was happy for him, because I think he, just a different experience. He meets different people. Mm-hmm. He's actually working. He's making a good living doing it. And at some point, maybe he'll come back. But I think it's important for him to explore and learn and experience. Sometimes I wish I could trade places with him. To be 22 and down in Fort Lauderdale, it ain't too bad.
I'm sure he's having some.
Yeah, he's having some fun. And so maybe he'll come back, maybe he won't. But right now, I've got a great staff. Business is fantastic. And, I'm 58, and I have, no intentions of making any changes at this point. Mm-hmm. So no exit strategy at this point, but you never know what turns life will take, right?
Good stuff. Well, Jeff, why don't you tell us how can people get in touch with you, or your website and
Sure. That's the other thing on my website. My cell phone is on that website. Mm-hmm. So if a customer has a question, a positive comment, a negative comment. In fact, I was just reading an email, a nice long letter. A customer was very happy. But I'm real easy to get up with. It's aluminumcompany.com. Cell phone number is on the website. My email's on the website. We have a contact page, and if anybody's interested in work, having some home improvements done, we'd love to talk to you. And if you have any good referrals for some good administrative staff or a salesperson, we love that as well. We would appreciate any referrals in that line as well.
Well, Jeff, thanks a bunch for inviting us in today, and a very great
Thank
company
you.
you've built. And
Appreciate it.
Thanks again, and so long for another edition of the Small Business Insights.